Thank you for watching here on YouTube Live at Blooming Light at Bloomy's Tribe. If you happen to be logging in live, then you are logging in on Wednesday. I want to say this is September the 17th, 2025. It is approximately 11:41 Central Standard Time in the U.S. in Southeast Texas, Beaumont, Texas. Specifically, if you're logging in at a later time and date, you're a decent being, then I'm going to say, trying to get my language together. I honor you for watching. I haven't figured out yet what the hell is going to replace thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you is something we were taught when we were two. Okay, those of us that started talking at two. Like, this is something that is deeply ingrained, and it's like, oh, we've been putting ourselves in debt since we started talking. And this thing has been being reinforced, which would explain so much about the back and forth, the push and pull, the win, the loss, the up, the down, all of that. Okay, in part, anyway, in part. So if you're coming at a later time and date, this might be for you. It may not be for you. Be grounded, be practical, be wise. It's your life. Okay, it's your life at the end of the day. No matter where you go and who you seek, who preach, who teach, at the end of the day, this is your life. It's easy for me or anyone else to sit either behind a podium, a desk, or a screen and tell you about what the hell you're supposed to be. Okay? So just try to, keep all that in mind and be safe. Certainly, for the collective that I read for, on the honorable side of it, they have dealt with some real serious situations, some real, crazy toxic shit. So be careful, okay? Be careful. Bear with me 1 second because I gotta do this really quick. But this is going to be an interesting. I'm interested to see how it's gonna turn out. You playing with my shit, ain't tired of me, asshole. Y'all be tired of me. I so fuck. I'll be tired. You know, you little me bitch. I'll be tired of. Yeah. I ain't that deep. Fuck it. Deep state. Okay. Because you getting bad news too. Now, be safe. This is, to those of you out here who will come on, you're my honorable collective. Be wise. Be just as slick. Okay? You have to be. When you come to realize that, it is what it is. We don't have time to do no contingency plan, no control group meeting. It's like, it is what it is, bitch. Okay? And either you're going to make adjustments as you need to. Okay? So, past, present, future, this is something I've learned in my case, painfully. On top of the fact that my energy was being manipulated during the early parts of the process of me ascending or aligning, because I come from a family, this is something that I was not aware of, so I'm going to just put that out there. I had no knowledge of this, okay? And I am still in the process of trying to even get to some data and some information to determine what my real origins is anyway. I'm also in the process of that. So I'm doing background investigations. I'm trying with what I have for now. I'll continue so that I can find out, like, okay, like I this is where I arrived in this bloodline, because we just take everything face value. We all do. Okay, you arrive in this family and you just take it as face value. Sometimes we are in some families with some really shady shit. Okay? And in my case, I didn't know. And I can't say that every single family member, I can't say that. Okay? But I can say that the majors, okay? There are certain ones, okay? And then there's others that knew about it, like kind of sporadically. But the whole point that I'm making is I did not have any knowledge about my origins being part of cult, okay? From the start is what I'm trying to say. We heard stories when we were little. You know, we're all told stories about certain things, but I mean, I still didn't know how far that really went. You see what I'm trying to say? We were told stories that um, that our mother, okay, when she met her youngest child's father, okay, that was from Louisiana, and you know his parents, I don't know if is that his real daddy, man? Anyway, I digress. So, and you know she was young, super back. I mean, what, 20, 21, 22? Like she was super duper young, okay, when she initially hooked up with these people, which means what? Very impressionable, huh? I'm not gonna get too deep in all that because it doesn't really matter, okay? So we were told that, yeah, like, you know, the mama, you know, the Edwards, the Prevosts, the Edwards, you know, that day, you know, is into doing the root, you know, they were dark witches, and that they, you know, do, you know, shit. But that was the extent of it. That, you know, she went out there and, you know, could have got involved. I think my grandmother, and I'm reaching here because mind you, I'm almost 50, and my grandmother, maternal grandmother, um, passed away when I was 13. Okay, so this I'm reaching. I'm trying to grab whatever comes to me. I'm trying to grab because sometimes it's all bunched in. It's like you know. Um, I believe we either heard conversations, you know, because I was nosy, nosy little girl. You wouldn't have known it though. Um, where she was making like maybe a statement and saying like she believed that because something happened with the mother, you know, after like she went out there and she stayed with them, and something happened with her where she called my grandmother, and was asking, you know, for help to come back to where we were, which was California. And um, and so I think my grandmother was like, she believed that she went out there and got involved, excuse me, and got involved with some strange shiznit, okay? With something that, you know, and the mother, you know, comes back. Now ironically enough, it was my money. Y'all wouldn't believe it, huh? A little girl, all of what, 6 maybe? It was mine. It was. It was my money because I was a thief. I was a collector. I'm talking about me. This is me 5 and 6 years old, okay? I was a collector of pennies. So even if I just found them on the ground, like outside, it's something that I would do. I was a collector of pennies. But I would also, if I found them anywhere that I went, I would collect them. So that's why I said I was a thief, okay? But it wasn't like I was thieving per se. It's just that I was a collector of pennies. And I had a way of doing that because for whatever reason, I had managed, and I still don't know how I did that at such a young age. I had managed, I think back then, because I'm trying to see what was the ticket for her? It was maybe about 2 years back then, maybe. And I'm still baffled at that. But anyway, so my grandmother, I know I'm off track, but it's the reason why I'm sharing all this, okay? And so she got the ticket so that she can get my mom, back to Cali, because I guess she was saying she was sick. She was sick, or she was hurt, or something. It was a reason she wanted to leave. I don't know if she was breaking up with my siblings. It was the reason she wanted to leave, and to come back, bitch. Okay. Now, in part, it could have been to do some damn shit. Because now that I know what I know, because things then got even super interesting after that. I'm just gonna say this. After that, that is where even things with my grandmother started escalating in terms of health issues. Because maybe she went out there, was doing shit, and then since my grandmother let her back, they say that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? If she went out there and was putting roots on my grandmother and on us and God knows who else, then the grandmother pulling her back, my money, pulling her back in. They say like that's one of the ways that karmics sometimes buffer, or they can bypass some, not all, they bypass some of retribution, because it's like you reconnected to that energy. So the karmas, whatever was supposed to come to them, anyway, I don't get into that. So I remember she gets back and she was super skinny. My grandmother was concerned about that because, she wasn't naturally that thin. So, she comes back and she was like, what the nigga, what the? Like, if she was naturally thin, it wouldn't have been a concern. That's why I put it that way. She wasn't naturally that thin. So for her to, come back, it's like, okay, what the hell happened out there? Like, what is going on here? Okay. And then she ends up, she had to have a surgery. I think this is one of the first surgeries. And, with her throat. Something happened to her throat all of a sudden. And so she had to get a throat surgery or some shit like that. Was it perhaps because she, I see now I started to like connect dots on shit now. I'm like, I just wonder. Because her health condition, let me explain this again as well. She was a young woman, so this is not about age and life and all of that kind of naturally kicking in. First and foremost, she was a young woman. And second of all, prior to all of that, her health was otherwise normal. Okay, so she didn't have any preconditions that would say, oh, this was just a natural byproduct. This was just something that was, possibly going to happen anyway. It was the genetics. She already had a precondition, but she didn't. Okay? So this is why I'm saying these things were odd. And I think my grandmother thought the same, that this was odd. Okay? So she got the surgery. My grandmother, I believe at that time maybe had helped to, like take care of her or let her stay there or something until she, whatever. Okay? Now, back to my point. I wanted to share all of that because As all these things continue to unfold a trillion years later, that's as far as we ever knew about, somebody in the family possibly dabbling in something and, so forth. Okay. And that's where it stopped. There was never any further talk. Okay. After my grandmother passed, at least with me, let me rephrase that. I cannot speak for the conversations that was being had with everyone else. Because something that I'm learning is that apparently a lot of people had a problem with me because they felt like I was getting most of the attention of my grandmother. As if I am a child, or I was a child just like everybody else. But people still kind of put that on me, including her daughter. So I don't know what was said to everybody else. But as for me, there was no other further conversation about any of that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, once my grandmother passed, there was nothing else to ever be brought to me. So I did not know that my origins and my family were really part of a real, like a for real shit on TV version, bitch. Like, it's called Secret for a reason. It started to make sense later. It's like, well, the secret, that kind of, they don't really like their identities and shit being revealed, and especially to a light one, because then, which is stupid. They done been doing, they done been doing work from the beginning. The whole idea is keep them in the dark. Hello. And I need that understood because this is being exposed. It's going all the way, all together, period, point blank. That's what I'm here for. One way or the other. And I don't want any association with it. I want absolutely no association with it. I do not want anyone in this universe drawing any connections between me and them whatsoever. Okay? I'm not with that kind of shit. I ain't never been a part of that kind of shit. Okay? There is nothing that I've ever wanted so damn bad for me to be willing to participate in that kind of shit. So, because me being somebody on this path, I guess I'm saying this because being someone on this kind of path, unfortunately, is usually automatically, especially if someone is ignorant to things, it's automatically associated to the more malevolent ways and practices, automatically, unless you're knowledgeable. Okay, so just want to set the record fucking straight. Okay, I was not a part of their scheme, their schemes. Okay, wasn't a part of their schemes. That life, because I mean, if you think about it, shit, my shit wouldn't have been the fuck, nigga. Anyway. It sure wouldn't have been what it's been the last goddamn 10 years if that's the fucking case, motherfuckers. If I knew about it and if I was a part of it and, you know, woo-de-woo. The whole thing of being a part of it is you get these benefits. So it's almost clear if anybody pay attention enough. My successes have always come first and foremost as small, all the different sizes and versions. It was always independent. I was usually separate from them. And it was just through diligence and resonance. I'm gonna say diligence and resonance of where I was and, you know, aligning and stuff like that. And it ain't like nothing big and super happened anyway. I would be cautioning when people all of a sudden seem to be, you know, and that's the kind of shit I recommend motherfuckers start investigating. You know, where you fucking suddenly, nigga, what, nigga? Where they fucking suddenly just got what? You got you a jobby job? You got your promotion in? Cause you ain't got shit. Where the fuck? That's the stuff y'all need to be worrying about, need to be looking at. Okay? Now they hid a lot of stuff. I think a part of why the origins, you know, I think they downplayed and hid stuff for a long time. Okay? But yeah, I never knew. I never participated. I never got any kind of benefit, spiff. I was never asked. I was never, you know, initiated. I was never given anything. I didn't know. Nope. Not even as it pertains to the interference with my life in terms of friends, people that I've dated, all of that. Okay? Because most of the time, like in some cases, these people were sent to me. I didn't know. And it's not all the cases, okay? I'm just saying, in some of the cases, the people that I dated and got into relationships with, they were sent by them or someone connected to them, whether it's government or it was something. They were sent. I didn't know. Okay? Because I sure wouldn't be, I'll tell you right now, a bitch, you know what I'm saying? If I was getting any spiffs, nigga, for anything, I'm telling you right now, me and my two boys wouldn't be in Texas. Shit. You think I would just be sitting up here with the lunatics willingly, nigga? Like, if I was getting some kind of, if I was getting some kind of spiffs from these motherfuckers. So anyway, let me move on. Fast forward, let's get to it. This reading, this message, okay, the consolation prize for whoever is for. Some of them may have been giving a consolation prize. This is a practitioner, a dark practitioner, karmic practitioner that was hired to do baneful work on honorable feminine and to you know, do some other shit. It was a combination package. You know, they got the supreme package. That's, you know, they purchased they purchased the supreme package. Okay, so what would you like? Would you like the silver package, which includes, but not limited to, baneful spell work around the clock, preferably in the wee night hours of the morning. Also, social media trolling, sending bad juju as well as negative comments. Also, if in proximity, this includes juju dust, feathers, poison and and attempts to get them in trouble, false testimonies. We can provide documentation as we have inside track with corrupt sorry niggas and bitches in these various arenas. So if you're interested in the silver package, and we have proximity, you get to get your stalking, the spell work, poison, and several setup attempts to get the targeted individual caught up in jail. So anyway, being silly, I think they got, you know, the silver package, if you will, and but one of the things that, you know, I think they did, I think the people who hired them were satisfied because a lot maybe seemed to get accomplished, with the exception of something that they really was really hoping that they really wanted accomplished with the Honorable Feminine, and it didn't. It didn't stick. It didn't really go all like the way. So the practitioner they hired was upset because there was possibly the end of contract, but the people could have been like, oh, they're having legal issues. Like, they could have said different things as to why they needed to end the contract or not let them in the cult or whatever. So they were upset. Okay. At some point, whether it was during the time of the contract or after, the practitioner that was hired decided that they wanted to, because of them being as good as they are and having their success rate and all of the things in which, you know, they have been doing on these honorable feminists for so long, they were curious and wondering, well, how come it hasn't all the way? Like, I'm curious now as the practitioner, how come? Because my track record is I get, you know, I get it done. You want them dead? I get it done. You want them, you know, crazy in jail? I get it done. You want them? I get it done. So what the fuck is going on with this situation? Because this is not my track record. They went to a reader. I don't know if this was someone that they knew was reputable, you know, being in the arena and all, you know. They went to a reader and provided the Honorable Feminine's information. Even possibly gave a picture, because, you know, this is also part of the silver package, is illegal surveillance. We will hack their devices using our sorry motherfuckers, you know, that we know over here. Our professional hackers, bitch. And we will take pictures and send you that information to give you an update on the status. So anyway, they possibly, you know, went to this practitioner, you know, provided Honorable Feminine's information, may have given them a picture just to help, you know, to bring in some added elements to get a reading to see what the hell is this bitch, you know, this And this made them mad. See, I'm getting somewhere. This made them mad, okay? The results that they got. Oh, sorry, you're going to get this woody. What you over there playing with? You're going to get it. See? I'm going to get his booty spanky. I'm going to get his booty spank. Anyway, this made this practitioner upset with the reading revealed, okay? The consolation prize may not be all of them. Some of them may have gotten a consolation prize for the ending of the contract. And it's only because these individuals that hired them could be concerned that they might turn them in. Okay? With her participation, his participation, the proofs, you know, that they have for being involved, they could be concerned like, okay, we need to appease them somewhat. And their prize could have been anything. The consolation prize could be whatever it is that that practitioner wanted or needed the most at the time. Okay. And it was possibly within reason, you know, that these people could do, whether it was a car, a rental, a purchase, a borrow. It could have been rent paid, you know, because they put them in a financial bind. It could be for rents. It could have been whatever this practitioner felt like she was being slighted, and she maybe wanted to at least negotiate something. Okay. But not all of them. Not all of the practitioners got a consolation prize, but some of them did. Okay. Okay. So why was the practitioner upset when she went to the reader? Maybe because the reader was reputable. Maybe she know, and since she knows it was reputable, then she knows that the information was trustworthy. Okay, so let's see. Why? What she was told, he was told about the honorable feminines, because they were wondering what was taking so long. How come their same effectiveness wasn't happening as quickly as they had a reputation, as quickly as it would otherwise? You know, under circumstances not even as perfect, because maybe the circumstance in this situation was like the ideal crime. So they have this reputation in situations they didn't even have, you know, that level of access. So we have here, it says, healing earth, the power to give and to receive, and clairvoyant, inspiration, interpretation, and trust. So they were told that feminine is here to heal the earth. Good gravy, God. Let me do this. Good gravy. Now, they may not have said these words verbatim, okay, but it's going to be something along those lines. Okay. Why was this practitioner upset? Oh, nigga. I like it when this. I like when this card come out first, bitch. Because that's your lead. The first energy that actually comes out is the presidents. It's the foundation. It's the lead, baby. And this one fell on the phone. See, the issue is people just be upset because feminists don't be looking how people think they should look. Or, you know, y'all know how humans can be. They don't be looking how folks think they should look. They don't be having what folks think they should. Yeah. People be surface. Okay. So she was told, honey, this is a divine feminine child, bitch. And you know, she could have told her that she had a toxic mother. She had a karmic mother. And could have, or whoever she was working with, could have, I don't know. She could, the reader could have told her, and the bitch that hired you, motherfucker, is the karmic. Is karmic. Is an unloving cunt. Child. Yeah, earth magic. She was told that feminine is here. She's fearless. And she is here to remove obstacles. Divine feminine, earth magic. For those after her, for herself, bloodline. I told you she's a guide. Good baby. They told this lady, this man, bitch, that she has learned lessons and completed many cycles. With this 21, they say she's a fucking guide. Okay? And she could have possibly told this lady, y'all need to put this shit to an end, 21. The world. You need to put it to an end because this is not going to end the way you think. Yeah, trying to kill her. Ooh. This ain't going to end the way nobody thinks, bitch. 19, so that's enlightenment. She's enlightened. She's died. She could even told her that she's already died. Like died. Like she's died, maybe even in this carnation. That she's died several times and that she's like overcome death. Like it only takes her here. She's got something backing her. You see that? Do that with Blash. It's gonna burn some ass. It's gonna burn, bitch. But a matter of fact, hold on a minute. Now, with that being said, try it again and see what happens to you next. Oh, shit. Well, see, they can always try you, but it's okay. These energies self-destruct lifetime after lifetime, time after time, cycle for cycle. It's okay. They're just piling it on to them in their own bloodline. Apparently they don't love their kids, because if they did, they showed the fuck wouldn't be fucking with yours. So as I've stated before, narcissists do not love for real. They don't love their children. Their children are objects. Their children is a county check. They don't love their children. If they love their children, they wouldn't be fucking with the collectives, I guarantee you. All right, so what was this practitioner told here? Clarifying, divine feminine. I'm going to say honorable feminine. What was she told? Honorable feminine. She could have told her that the feminine would not compromise, that she's not going to compromise, that she's not going to back down no matter what people do in terms of money and shit like that, that she has character. She won't be, yeah. She won't be backing down, nigga. Oh. Okay. It says reminiscent memories returning. Interesting. Cleansing. She could have told her that maybe somebody is reminiscing on these feminines. And, cleansing or something like that. She could have also maybe told this practitioner that feminine wasn't like a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? Money hungry or willing to do anything for money. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter how much she struggled. It doesn't matter how difficult shit is. She's not going to just be like a pygmisha. She's not going to be begging. She's not going to compromise. Yeah. Extreme harsh, cut off, ghosted. Feminine has dealt with people, ghosting her, cutting her off. And it's only empowered her, okay, to remove obstacles in her life. Maybe also that she's had to do a lot of that because people were creating obstacles for her. Retaliation. Ooh. So she could have even told her that it wouldn't be the wisest thing to be trying to retaliate against a guy because she has the ancestors or something here. Hold on one second. I gotta check something real quick. They were told that there would be retaliation, as I was saying, if they kept coming for you. Mm-mm-mm. It's funny how the cult didn't tell them that, huh? They could have told this practitioner that she's a legend. She is a legend. She has a legacy prior to this carnation, or prior to, you know what I'm saying? That she maybe needed to shut up. And that she ain't no simp. Her podcast. She ain't no simp. And she ain't somebody that you can shut up. She's a starseed. Look. They could have told her or him, like, no, she ain't no simp. People hating on them because she not no simp and because they can't silence her. Mm. Yeah. See, red flag is in the reverse. She's legit. So she could have wanted, this practitioner could have wanted to know if the feminine was like the real deal. Somebody told this practitioner that she's the real deal. Whether it was who gave her a reading or if she went back to somebody who knew her, something. Like she's the real deal. Like she wasn't faking with a lover. You know, it was real. Okay, what else? Trauma bond. Okay, she could have been told that the reason why, a part of the reason why feminine did cut off maybe a particular relationship was because she realized people were traumatizing her and trying to keep her in some kind of a trauma bond situation. She could have also been told that people were trying to hide their red flags from her. They were trying to hide them, like specifically, intentionally. And that they were trying to create trauma bonds with her. They wanted her to chase and to yeah, and that people were simply just wanting to retaliate against her because she's a legend. Like it could have been like her sister, her family, her exes was wanting to retaliate because she was illuminating the path for people. And that's why she has a lot of people wanting to punish her or to take revenge on her. Yeah, a bunch of that's why people were saying she was crazy, and it was actually a bunch of crazy people wanting to um take retaliation on her because she was illuminating the path and helping people's third eye open, helping people to see that they were being gagged. And this could have pissed off that didn't want to be seen like the feminine, because she was helping people third eye to, you know, tap in and to learn. So they wanted to have revenge on her. Yeah, because she was dealing with the shadow. So whoever this cult is, whoever these relatives are, these are shadow people. They live in their shadow. And it was somebody who was an ex, that was a part of a cult, that had got kicked out of a cult and wanted revenge also on her for that. Yep. Because maybe a billionaire, it could have been a billionaire, or a billionaire kicked them out. Something like that. Let's keep it pushing. Good gravy, God. What else was this practitioner told? So we already got straight away that feminine, the lead energy was honorable feminine, magnetic. Okay. So she was told. So that's why, you know, shit is only escalate when people are given information, when they're told and they seek it out and they decide. Because that's, again, once you got that information, then you won't be able to pull, I plead the fifth, and I didn't know, and all that dissipates. It's like, no, but you do, and you still decided to keep doing shit. So, yeah. You still decided. Walk away in the reverse. It wasn't her fault about something. She could have asked about like a breakup, about feminine and a man, or money situation. So the practitioner was like, nope, this was not feminine's fault. It had nothing to do with money or abundance. Yeah, she wasn't a gold digger. And that she wasn't even poor. Like feminine at that time that a relationship ended, she could have had a job. She could have been working full time and had her own money. You know? And also that she wasn't in something for money. Okay? So she could have told this practitioner that relationship ended because this person had an issue with her temple path. The temple path in the reverse. They had an issue with who she was. And they were just there basically to get her off of her path. Or also that feminine doesn't do what she do from, you know, just for money. Because she could have been like, is she even real? Is she fake? Is she just like the rest of these people out here just doing something and ain't really that? And so this practitioner's like, no, she's the real deal. She's on her path of personal healing and is sharing that. Yeah. Yes, she's, a sweetheart. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. That this was love. That she cared about the person. Her heart was open and her heart was pure. But people did not give her, you know, they didn't give her much choice in situations here. People wanted to keep her in a trauma bond state. Wanted her confused. And wanted to play on her heart. Indecision. Feminine was guiding people. About how to navigate through situations where people are playing games with you, hiding things from you, trying to make you question yourself. And then it's about spell work, magician, and the mirror and the reverse. So could have even been teaching people about that, you know, illuminating like there's spell work and somebody is fucking with your head and, you know, so forth. I'm going to end this one because it's long and I did too many pauses, you guys. So let me end this and then I'm going to start over afresh because I did have to do some clearing of energy because as scheduled, as is the new normal for me, when I go on live, so does the degenerates. They come on and they get to doing spell work. So I have to get to fucking ass up.